Greetings and welcome back to the Cataclysm and to Isdar, who has returned to the mansion safe and sound and has actually been busy for the last little while moving things around. That is why we are hungry and thirsty, and it is, well, coming up towards midday on the first day of summer. Now, I'm going to quickly go over what I've done off screen because it was largely just moving things around and inventory management, that sort of thing. I have replaced our hand wraps with a pair of flame-resistant gloves. It is basically for exactly the same amount of encumbrance, and that is exactly 0. I haven't been able to completely reinforce it yet because I lack the materials required, the nomex required to finish up the repair of the gloves. I actually had to cut up the suit and the hood in order to get them as repaired as this. But I felt that the gloves were the more likely item that I was going to be using of all of the items that were available. So hopefully it will have been the right move. Now we have a number of books around. We've got all of these books that are still there that we haven't done anything with. All these books which we have read entirely. And you will notice all of the food is gone from up here. Well, that is because it's all over here. Now, I've left a little bit more work to do just so I can go over this, but in a nutshell, I've got chemicals and things that generally you wouldn't just drink or use in cooking as is. So salt, water, ammonia, obvious one that. We've got all of the booze here and all of the non-booze there, so energy drinks, that sort of thing, but not water. That's being kept separate. It'll actually be getting stacked up here soon. Now, there is one item down there. Is a gallon jug of cheap wine, which we're going to be getting rid of. Now, everything on this tile directly to Isdar's west right now are the food items, which I feel are likely only to be used or best used in combination with other items to make better food. So, for example, raw spaghetti. You wouldn't just eat that. I imagine you could, but it probably wouldn't be very good for you. Well, it wouldn't be bad for you per se. It probably wouldn't be the easiest thing to digest, and you probably wouldn't get any real goodness out of it. Up here, we've got things that are just ready to eat, generally snacks. Here we have perishables. We've got a plastic bag of cracklings, old. It's going to make us thirsty, but I'd rather eat it than waste it. So go ahead, just nom on these. There we go. Not the nicest meal, I'm sure, but over here we have a bunch of seeds, because eventually, in fact, we might even do that in this episode. I'd like to start Isdar making a little bit of farm out here in the front, but the reason I've set this up as I have, right now, Isdar can mostly deal with smoke because of his mask, but still, I would like everything nearby the brazier so that I can actually make use of it. And one of the things we're going to be doing for that is we're going to be gathering up our filter. I called it a filter. Our funnels. There we go. There we are. And we're going to bring them down and we're just going to set them up right outside the door. It should be nice and easy for us. There we are. And once again, another leather funnel down there. And we'll go ahead and we'll drop our gallon jugs. Where are you? Gallon jug of water there. And another gallon jug just down here. There we go. Got a plastic bag. Oh, it would have been the cracklings. Okay, now the next thing we want to do is we want to find the gallon jug of cheap wine. There is actually an enormous barrel of whiskey, I think, somewhere in the actual mansion, but I'm not sure whether I can just wheel that up here and use it the way I would hope to. Maybe I could have it underneath one of the funnels, so it's just an enormous. It has an enormous capacity, but we'll see about that in the future. Now, the first thing we want to do is get rid of this cheap wine. So H, unload, and we have nowhere to put it, so just hit escape and then hit a direction. There we go. Looks like we've just spilt ketchup all over the floor. And now we have a spare gallon jug. So we're just going to place that down here for now. Later on, we'll come back and we'll grab that. And the other thing we can do is we can get rid of any junk. So a plastic bag, we'll just put it in the brazier. I think, yeah, that's probably the best thing to do. Now, before we actually get too wrapped up taking care of that now, I actually do need to... I'm going to try and get rid of our hunger by eating some potato chips. We'll eat all of them. And then we'll drink some water. There we go. I'll actually drop this plastic bag over here. It'll be useful. I think there are a few things that actually require plastic bags as part of the crafting recipe. Now, if you have a quick glance at Izdar's inventory at the moment, I've got the earplugs with me. I've got a few odds and sods. I've generally cleaned up his inventory. I'm going to keep the scientist card on me at all times. I'm also going to take some vitamins. Now then, here comes the main thing that I wanted to bring you back for. And that is, actually, what I'll do is I'll quickly show you what I've got in the wheelbarrow at the moment. I'll also take that lighter out. I've got some small game arrows just in case I want to use them. I've also got the welding goggles. I've pretty much got all of my tools in the wheelbarrow because generally speaking, I think that I will usually have the wheelbarrow with me when I'm doing something. I also just noticed that I had 3 MP3 players. That's just excessive, is that? Let's unload them all. And the other one as well. Unload and then drop both the batteries and the 2 empty MP3 players over there. There we go. But I've generally just got all of my tools in the wheelbarrow because I'm probably going to be dragging that around with me wherever I go for a little while. Now, what we want to do is we want to go through all of these books and actually learn what secrets they hold. Let's see if we can't pick all of them up at the same time. Oh, we can. That's fantastic. I wasn't sure that we were going to be able to. Now, we already know, obviously, Advanced Electronics, Discobulus, and the Pocket Guide to First Aid, so we'll just drop those off. And we're going to start reading these. Again, I like to read the skim reading on camera because that shows anyone who happens to be looking for a specific recipe in the game or just which books are good for certain skills, what books to keep their eye out for. So we'll start with DIY Compendium. Now, it can bring our fabrication skill to level 6. It requires level 3 to understand it, so I think that's actually outside of our range at the moment. And an intelligence of only 8 to easily read. It takes 30 minutes to read it though, so that's going to be a bit of time. It contains 38 crafting recipes. Okay, let's have a look at these. Bearings, vehicle forge rig, vehicle welding rig, food co-kitchen buddy, onboard chemistry lab, pair of welding goggles, thermal electric suit, and socks and gloves and balaclava. Thermal electric balaclava. That's fantastic. Kinetic bullet puller, wearable flashlight, pane of reinforced glass. Ooh, that's an interesting one. Reinforced headlight, vehicle controls, folding bicycle, duct tape. We can make duct tape with a recipe in this book. Spiked plating, hard plating, 12 gauge pistol, fire axe, electric forge, metalworking chisel, swage and die set. I think that says jack. Hacks. Oh, we can make a hacksaw with this book. What? My lord. Pair of bolt cutters, shovel, entrenching tool, hoe, wooden axe, wood saw, sledgehammer, pickaxe, charcoal forge, charcoal smoker, charcoal kiln, and mechanical pump. I can't believe that this thing allows us to make a hacksaw. Oh, we don't have the skill level for it yet. But we will in time, I feel. Okay, well, let's continue reading these books. I can't believe we were looking for one for so long. Alright, the Fletcher's Fend. Now, I'm pretty interested in this one. It's another fabrication one. Only requires level 2 to understand this one, so I think that's within our range at the moment. But this one, as you might imagine, teaches a lot of different arrow recipes. Fletched arrows specifically. Now, that is really good. We're going to want to do that. We're going to want to start fletching our arrows as soon as we possibly can. We can make explosive crossbow bolts. John Rambo is not. And rightly so. Unless you're talking about First Blood, John Rambo, because that was a believable and really interesting character that had depth. And then it just became some sort of slapstick, stereotypical American hero in the following movies. That was such a waste of potential. I don't often like to rant, but seriously, I mean, I don't even mind that they changed the ending from the book in the movie, the first Rambo movie, the First Blood. You know, it still kind of worked, and it still had the same kind of vibe and feeling to it. I liked it still. But really, all the other ones, really, no. That's my official stance on that, no. But explosive crossbow bolts, you know, interesting. The large quiver would be very interesting. Now, can we actually make these already just from having that nearby? Oh, we can. We just need 10 fletchings. How does one make fletchings? This arrow is significantly sturdier than the wooden arrows. It has crude field point, head, and fletching. Fletched fire-hardened wooden arrow, fletched field point, 10 fletchings. I'm not sure how we get that. What's the difference exactly? So a field point wooden arrow does damage of 6, armor piercing of 1, range of 2. Fletched range. Wow, they can shoot much further. Okay, you've got my attention. Heavy fletched field point arrow. So how do we make a heavy arrow? Heavy wooden arrow shaft requires a 2x4. You'll get 10 of them. A heavy shaft made from wood. It needs arrowheads and fletching to become a functional arrow. You can, however, fire it from a bow. And you've got arrowheads here, chunk of steel or 3 scraps. Here we are, fletching. You need there we are, plastic bags or duct tape. So 1 plastic bag or a cardboard box or a plastic chunk or 10 feathers. That's fantastic. So I could make them out of plastic bags. That's really quite good. The arrowhead, chunks of steel, or 3 scrap metal, though. That's a little bit more expensive. Still, worth it, in my opinion. Very much worth it. Does it actually require... I can't actually see anything that requires the arrowheads. I can make the arrowheads, but I don't think I need them. Oh, no, there we are. No arrow shafts, that is. Oh, interesting. Still, very cool to be able to see that now. Okay, let's read through the next one. So what? Clothing! Not your face, not your mouth, your eyes, or any other parts of your body that really should remain as you know, portals into your body in one fashion or another. You know, poetically, your eyes, or, you know, quite literally, your mouth. Don't sew those up. They're not meant to be sewn. Silly people. Now, bring your tailoring to skill 3. I'm fairly sure our tailoring is already pretty high. Requires intelligence 4 to easily read. Contains 25 crafting recipes. A pair of bone armor boots. Okay, let's have a look if they've got any other good armor. XL leg warmers. I wonder if that's for mutated anatomy. Fetlock furs. Anything else? Pair of fingerless gloves, leather gloves, fur gloves, bone armor gauntlets. What is our tailoring at currently? Our tailoring is at 4, so it's already beyond this book. But still, it's got recipes that I don't know yet. 101 crafts for beginners. Will it actually have a 101 crafts? No. You have lied to me, game. I demand that you pay me some sort of compensation for this flagrant lie. But it will take fabrication up to skill 3. Well, you know, that's not too bad. And it actually doesn't require any lower level, any skills in order to read. And it has a very low requirement of time and intelligence to read. We'd probably be able to get through this book really fast. And it's got a couple of decent things as well. It's got the jack hacksaw, pair of bolt cutters. Yeah, okay. All right, I'll let you off for now. I'm still a little bit miffed that you lied, but okay, you've won me back with your alluring 16 minutes to read, because most of the books that we're looking at take like 30 minutes. All right, computer gaming. That's just a morale book, but you know, it's nice to have. We'll drop that off straight away. In fact, we'll drop off the books that we have looked at straight away. There we are. Now we've got Car Buyer's Guide. It will bring our bartering up to 1. All right, we'll drop that one off as well. And the AAA Guide 2040. What does this do? Okay, just brings our driving up to skill level 3. Fair enough. Yeah, that's completely. All right. And finally, the complete home repair guide. Now, construction skill to 8. Wow. Requires construction skill of 5, and that is also wow. Book effects are morale by -1. Takes almost an hour to read. Egad. Doesn't have any recipes, but I'm fairly certain that you don't get recipes with construction. You just get this, and it requires certain. I'm not sure if it requires levels. It might do. There might be certain things that do. Yeah, here we are, like mining downstairs and upstairs. That's why we've got the jackhammer. But there aren't too many things that actually require construction skill. Most of it you can do just by working on it yourself. Oh, there we are. Build a metal door. Ooh. Okay. So a heavily fortified door that even the zombies probably wouldn't be able to bash through easily. An armor reinforced window. Okay. Okay, there are a couple of things that are high construction skill. Right then, we will drop that off. Ooh. That's not showing up as blue. What skill level is my construction at? No, it's only on one skill of 1. Oh, yes, that's probably that I don't have the minimum required skill to even begin reading that. So that's fine. Now then, Isdar, now that I've covered what I've done around the fort, and we've read through those books, and I do, again, feel that it's fairly important to do that every now and then, I'm going to have Isdar just cooking himself up some food, because we're going to be spending a fair bit of time. Ooh. Steak knife, that's right, I forgot about you. Ah, glorious. Now, I believe... yeah, there we are. Now, if I recall, someone gave me some advice that a steak knife has very good butchering. 20 butchering. That's actually, yeah, very good. Sharp knife designed for cutting meat. What is my reinforced machete like? Butchering 15. You know, it's actually quite a decent butchering, the machete. But the steak knife, if we can have this with us, this is going to be really useful. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to try and take out the makeshift knife. There we go. We're also going to drop the makeshift knife. Where is the makeshift knife? Reinforced machete. Ah, the makeshift knife is being wielded. Okay, well, I guess that makes sense in a way. And it's quite interesting. You just literally pull the knife out of your boot and you're wielding it. I kind of like that, actually. Now, the question here is... if I put my steak knife into my combat boots, will this result in that knife being used when I actually butcher? Will it be a case of, well, the tool is within the necessary amount of tiles, we can use this? If not, that's going to be very unfortunate, because the odds are it's going to be several episodes I'm going to be recording right now, so it'll be a little while before you're able to give me advice and me actually take it on board. So if you're all sat there basically clawing your eyes out because I'm wasting butchered materials, I can only say sorry. I hope that isn't the case, but it might be. Right, okay, we're going to light a fire. Now, we should be pretty close to a lot of things. And we're going to have a look at what we can make. For chemicals, we can make lamp oil, really. Tallow, lard, cooking oil, goo canister. We can make super glue. 20 handfuls of dandelions. We'd need a tool with chemical making, though. Sealed yeast culture. Salt water, we require 1 salt or clean water. Okay, hand-rolled cigarette, joint. No, we don't have any of those. Okay, well, ooh. Wait a second, what was that? Sleeveless trench coat. Okay, we don't want to make that. Right, we want to make rum and cola, really? Suitable for tropical retreats and Canadian artists alike. Well, maybe. Maybe Isdar would like that, I don't know. What else can we make? Is there really nothing else that we can make? Oh man, that sucks. I was expecting us to have loads of things that we could make. But apparently, no. Wow, what's my cooking skill at? My cooking is at 2 exactly. Maybe I need to get it a little bit higher. Because I'm certain we've got enough stuff here to make some food. Like if we just have a look down here, for example, let's see. Broth? Oh! Need a tool with food cooking 3 or more. Ah, of course. I have not brought my pot. Very well. I shall gather my pot. I do have a pot in the wheelbarrow, but I'll actually take a pot and I'll just put it down where we're going to be cooking because that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, we'll take a pot. Never go anywhere without your pot. Also, probably wise to just drop your pot there so that it's you don't accidentally take it out with you and then you have 2 pots. Because no one wants 2 pots. Okay, now let's have a look. Ah, there we go. That's much better. Much, much better indeed. Now, we can make cooked dandelion greens, apparently. Cooked leaves from wild dandelions. Tasty and nutritious. This food is perishable. Okay, nutrition of 20. That's not bad. 2 handfuls of dandelions. That's really easy, in fact. We can make broth, which has a nutrition of 30 and a quench of 30. Vegetable stock. Tasty and fairly nutritious. This food is perishable. We can make cooked corn dogs now. Nutrition of 20. Heavily processed sausage, dipped in batter and deep fried. Cooked, this corn dog now tastes much better, but will spoil. Okay, so we don't want to cook those unless we have to. We can make mac and cheese with raw spaghetti, cheese spread, and clean water. When the cheese starts flowing, craft get your noodle going. Is that actually some sort of slogan? I don't know. Dandelion tea, of course. The beverage of kings. Quench 48. Rum and cola, still there. I like that. Cornbread, 3 cornmeals, 2 clean water. Healthy and filling cornbread. Beans and rice. So we can use our dried beans and dried rice to make some clean water. A serving of beans and rice that has been cooked together. Delicious and healthy. Nutrition of 52. That's actually really good. Cooked buckwheat. A serving of cooked buckwheat groats. Healthy and nutritious, but bland. This food is perishable. Boiled noodles. We can just make that. Fresh, wet noodles. We can make milk. Why? I don't want baby cow food. Isdar wouldn't be happy. Cooked beans. A hearty serving of cooked Great Northern beans. What is the beans and rice? That's a nutrition of 52 versus 50. But that has a quench of 1 and only uses beans. 1 dried beans, 1 clean water. Why would I want to do that? I mean, it would improve the rice, certainly, but the beans by themselves seem better. Honestly, it looks like it would be better to just not mix them. I can't imagine why you would want to do that. Cooked oatmeal, a filling and nutritious New England classic that has sustained pioneers and captains of industry alike. Nutrition 48, actually. That's actually pretty good. Deluxe cooked oatmeal. Maple syrup or honey and water and oatmeal. A filling and nutritious New England classic that has been improved with the addition of extra wholesome ingredients. Actually, nutrition of 64 is nothing to sniff at. That's pretty good. Okay, well, we've got a couple of things that we can make. I think we're going to go with... Let's get... Is that a corn dog? There we go. And you can just go ahead straight away and eat that corn dog. There you go. I imagine you're happy now. Enjoyed a hot meal. Enjoyed a cooked corn dog. Well done, Isdar. And you can wash it down with some clean water. Ah, this is the life. It really is. But that is it for this episode. Isdar has improved his area a little bit, but I'm starting to get a little bit concerned about food. We might go out and hunt a little bit, I think. I may have Isdar actually work through his corn dogs, because the junk food, I don't really want to keep. But we're probably going to have to go out on another hunting mission soon, and good old Sparkles down there is blinking. Just as I'm saying hunting. Nevertheless, there may be another survivor up here. I don't know. There's a part of me that doesn't want to eat Sparkles. They've been with us for a little while now. And there is certainly something to be said about keeping an emergency stockpile of food. But there is another shelter up there, and we could go and check that out. And I think maybe we will in the coming episode. But off screen, I'm going to have Isdar go and do a fair bit of learning. But before I do, can I actually make some clean water? No? No clean water. I can make sweet water, but that's all I can do. Then I'm not going to try. I'm going to have Isdar go and read for a little while by the light of his light strip. And when you return, hopefully Isdar will be a master of various crafts. Let's take a quick look at... Ooh, his left and right hand are too hot. How did that happen? Really? And his leg. And ooh, that's not so good. I may need to adjust that. But in the meanwhile, I'm going to have Isdar check out the books, and I hope to see you in the next episode. But until then, and as always, do take care.